I'm going to give you guys a good, honest review on the Arctic Air Pure Chill 2.0 and others that are like this. There's several others out there that work exactly the same as this. And I will tell you if it's worth buying or not. All right, let me tell you, those people that don't understand how an evaporative cooler works, how it works. So in a dry climate is the only time you can use an evaporative cooler for cooling effect. And I'm talking like under 30%. No, you get up around 35% humidity levels, they're useless. So all those reviews out there that are done, you know, in those high humidity levels, like along the coastlines and like the deep south, Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, up in Michigan, you know, around the Great Lakes, all those areas where you got that wet, humid air, you're sweating a lot and the sweat's rolling off your face. That is a wet climate. So evaporative coolers are useless. All those reviews that you see out there that are taken in that humid type climate, they're worthless. Just turn them off. It's not worth listening to because these evaporative coolers don't work. That's why your air conditioner at your home is not an evaporative cooler, because they don't work. That's why you're using a refrigerant type air conditioner. So this is only for people in a dry climate. So let's get that straight right away. Now, these little guys mist the air. They mist water into the air with these two little misters, and they're very tiny, and they don't throw much water out into the air. And that's one of the reasons the little water tank, tiny little water tank, that's why it lasts so long, is because they're not very aggressive at all. So if you're in a dry climate, you would consider one of these things. Now, when I do the test, I'm going to show you how worthless they are. These things are a joke. It's a scam. Don't buy one. You're wasting your money. All those reviews you see out there are bogus. Or the reviews that are saying that they work anyway are bogus. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're being dishonest, and these companies are making a lot of money selling these things. And I feel bad for all the people that buy them and thinking that they're really going to cool a room down or something. The only cooling effect you can feel at all is if you hold it right, I'm talking like 2 inches away from your head. If you set it up when you're taking a nap in a real dry climate and you set it all up right up next to your head, you can feel a little bit of coolness to it. But you back away 8 inches or so, you can't even really tell. Now, if you put the ice water in there and all that, that does help a little bit, but the ice water gets warm after 10 minutes or so. So if you're going to just keep putting ice in there and then hold the thing right up against your face, you'll feel a little bit of cool air, but I don't think too many people are going to want to do that. So let's be real here. These things are worthless and you're wasting your money. So let's do a test. I'll show you how they actually work and the cooling effect that they have and how worthless they are. Before we do the test, let's make sure we follow the manufacturer's instructions. Pull this out, pull this little media out here. We're gonna wet it down real good. And then we'll stick it back in there and we'll start our test. See those little misters in there? They're blowing a little bit of that water out. It's misting out, which will evaporate in the air and cause a cooling effect. And then it goes through this cartridge, these little felts that you wet down that are going to dry out pretty quick. But those misters right there where they hit, probably here in these middle ones, right there, it's gonna kind of keep these a little wet right here. I don't think it's gonna do anything with these after a while. And yeah, your ice water that you put in here, I just put straight water in there because the ice water is gonna warm up pretty quick anyway. I mean, yeah, it's gonna cool down a little better for the first few minutes, and then it's just gonna warm up and not do anything any better than just putting straight water in it. So I'm doing it just like you would a swamp cooler outside. It sits outside, you know. You're not going to put ice in your swamp cooler. Most people don't. All right, I'm out here in my camper to do this test, and as you can see on the thermometer, it's setting off to the side so that it's not getting any of the air coming off this little Arctic air. We've got 96 degrees outside, 98 on the inside. So indoor, that's the lower one, that 98 degrees right there. That is the one we're interested in. We don't really care about what's going on outside because we're doing our test inside here. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull that thermometer out and put it out here at 16 inches away from it. And now let's just see how cold it gets at 16 inches, which is actually pretty close to this little cooler. And let's just see what happens. I'm gonna let it sit here for a while, and I'll come back on. Okay, it's been 5 minutes and it's just stabilizing right there. So it dropped 1 degree outside, which would affect it inside some. I mean, if it really dropped down, it's going to drop down inside too. But it dropped down 1 degree outside and 1 degree inside. So 1 degree is really not doing anything. So I got this thing set as just wide open as I can get it. I got the fan turned to the turbo setting. It might get cooler if you lower that fan speed, but let's just go wide open on everything. And this is wide open. That's no water, and then this starts adding the misters and everything. Both lights are lit up. Fan speed, it's got all 3 lights lit up. So at 16 inches, 1 degree, not much there at all. Okay, now we've moved it up to 8 inches away. And let's see what happens here. Still 95 degrees outside, 97 inside. Let's give it 5 minutes and I'll come right back and we'll see what happens here. All right, so at 8 inches away, it's been a little over 5 minutes on this one. It's 95 outside, sun went behind a cloud, so it cooled off 2 degrees outside since we started the test, and it's dropped 2 degrees on the inside since we've started the test. And I got the windows open in here in the RV. So you're getting some cooling effect from the breeze blowing through here. Not much of a breeze. I mean, it's not affecting this fan at all because it's pretty calm. Now let's go. So far we haven't really seen anything out of this little cooler. It's just not doing anything. So now I'm gonna put this thing right up against it. Now this is where you will see a little difference here. I've already tested this little thing, and you'll see a little bit of a difference here. All right, let's give it 5 minutes right there and let's see what happens. Well, this time I waited for 10 minutes and temperature went up outside a little bit because the sun came out now. It's not behind a cloud anymore. I mean, it went up to 100 there for a minute when the sun came out, and then it dropped. It's kind of steadied out at 98 outside. and inside it's 94. So as you can see, when you put it right up against it, it makes, what, it dropped 1 degree or something. I thought it would drop more than that. It feels like it's a little cooler when you get right up against it, but it's really not doing anything. It's hard to say, but these things are definitely a waste of money. I wouldn't advise getting one. I mean, our humidity right now is at 10%. So we should be getting some kind of evaporative cooling effect out of this thing. I mean, a good swamp cooler in a house will definitely cool a house down. And you can get it cold. If your swamp cooler is the right size for your house, you can get it pretty chilly in a house with it, you know, with this humidity level that we got at 10%. So this thing is not as advertised, and it's really not good for anything. It's just a little fan, you know. You could get one a lot cheaper, a little fan a lot cheaper than this. That little mister does very little. I mean, yeah, it cools down, what, a couple degrees at the most. I guess if you put ice water in there, it'd go down a little more than that temporarily. But like I say, that's gonna, that ice is gonna melt real quick in that water. And this little bitty thing here, I mean, it doesn't hold that much water. So when it's warm out, ice is gonna melt, water's gonna get warm in probably 10 to 15 minutes, and you're gonna be, what, keep pouring ice into it all the time? I don't know if that's your thing. And then it's only going to drop a couple more degrees. So yeah, I tried that too. It just really doesn't do much. Thanks for watching. I wouldn't get one of these. Pretty much worthless.